So, where are we? It's the famous historical place in Hanoi, Hanoi Station. That's right. Do you know any feature point of this location? Oh, I know. I have done research about it recently, so I will tell you some information about it.
Or Hanoi railway station these days have suffered itself up in the same period. Modern waiting rooms, elevators, and automatic counters have been applied. The station platform is also more spacious and cleaner. The aura and aura background is easy to see when coming to the station platform next to Legion Street. Over time, the station also gradually disappeared. Still seen a few wire shops turn the lights all the night for the customers waiting for the train late. Still soup hot tea cups, pine tobacco, and peanut candy. There are still separations, though not green anymore. Hancock Station is now also the epitome of the whole railway industry struggling to the turnaround in an incompatible competition with low-cost airlines. But from a different perspective, in a country stretching from the south to the north with nearly 2,000 kilometers, the railway will always play an important role, not just as a type of transport more than 100 years history, but also the lifeblood of the economy. If you sit on the trains starting from Hancock down the station's streets, past the pass and wade through the deep forest, you can see the beautiful beauty of the nature and people of Vietnam. In that respect, we believe Hancock in the past and Hanoi railway station will still hold starting position for the journey of discovering the country, discovering oneself, and contemplating a slow way of life for each person.
So, do you know where's the next location we're heading to?
Also influenced the Hua Loi prison, one of the historical relics in Vietnam, and this location has imprisoned and tortured thousands of participants. And also is known as one of the most insane crucial prison in the world.
Hua Loi Prison, or ironically known as Hanoi Hilton, is a historical site in the French Quarter of Hanoi. The prison has been receiving great notoriety because it was under French colonization. It was considered one of the three most savage prisons in Vietnam, along with Co Da Prison and Sơn La Prison. Later, Hua Loi was one of the historical evidence of colonialist exploitation by France. After the Vietnamese government took power at the prison, it was the place where captured hundreds of American pilots. It is a symbol represent for the savages and crime that French colonists have done to Vietnam. The inhumanity are very clear. If a prisoner made a mistake, they would have been moved to a single, tiny and dark room. They sat all the time the sloping cement floor. They suffered 100 kinds of savage torture that threatened their lives. The prisoners were beaten with boxing, hung up or down, shocked, burned with gasoline, or even beheaded with the guillotines. The prison was so solid and unbreakable that in 36 years, no one could escape from that prison. The first prison break happened in 1932 by 7 prisoners. Thereafter, during the Second World War, the French lost and the Japanese replaced the French position. They keep our patriots and detain them in a bad condition to ruin their will. But soon they realized it is a nonsense act. And now My Son Central is a living evidence of French colonist crime, become a tourist attraction that cannot be missed when they come to visit Vietnam, and especially Hanoi.
Whoa! Is Paris? It must be an opera in Paris, right? Je m'appelle Pierre. Chanter.
Duh, it's not. It is Hanoi Opera House.
Oh, alright.
Hanoi Opera House is a project built by the French government in the early years of the 20th century. Its construction started in the 1901 and completed in the 1911. Two architects, Harley and Breuer, are designers of the projects. The design was under much modification due to comments from many other architects. The designer of the works had got references of ancient Greek architecture styles, combined with the style of Tuileries Castle and Paris Opera House to create a separate architectural building. The theatre was used as venues for classical art forms such as opera, drama, for the upper classes of French officials and a minority of wealthy Vietnamese. Performance schedule at that time were 4 times a week on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hanoi Opera House has a great value in terms of history, architecture, and usage. It is a historical evidence for social and cultural development of Hanoi and Vietnam under the French colonization. It is a relic of a period of architectural development in Vietnam in the late 19th and early 20th century. Hanoi Opera House and Theatre Square was a scene of great historical events associated with the August Revolution and the early years of Vietnam Democratic Republic. And on the September 2nd, 1946, 1-year anniversary of Vietnam Democratic Republic government was held here. And that was also the day our uncle first visited Hanoi Opera House. And since then, Hanoi Opera House was home to the National Assembly meetings until Barding Hall was constructed. Hanoi Opera House was the first play witnessing the first moment of peace in our country. It was a revolution witness of Hanoi.
So, our journey ends with Chu Van An High School.
Chu Van An High School, also known as Chu Van An National School or Pomelo School, one of 3 national high schools for gifted in Vietnam along with Quốc Học High School in Hue and Leong Phong High School in Ho Chi Minh City. The school was built in 1907, established by the French Protectorate for training interpreters and judges for protection government.
It is also one of the 3 magnet high schools in Hanoi, Vietnam, along with Hanoi Amsterdam High School and Nguyen Huệ High School, established by the French authorities in 1908 as High School of the Protectorate, in French, Lycée du Protectorat. Chu Van An is one of the oldest institutions for secondary education in Southeast Asia. Despite the initial intention to train native civil servants to serve the French colonial establishments, Vietnamese students at the school had many times struggled against colonial doctrine. During the 90s, from 1886 to 1975, Chu Van An School has changed constantly from title and headquarters to the educational program to adapt to the needs and circumstances of Vietnam. Officially called by many names, including Lycée du Protectorat 1929 to 1945, Chu Van An High School 1945 to 1975. Two words Trường Bưởi is only used in Fort, possibly from 1908 to 1945.